What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today's story time. I'm gonna do like a little story time. It is actually going to be the first time I ever got in trouble by the law and had my first DUI. I am well aware of if say, which I know I will never do it again, but if I ever do it again, it's going to pretty much ruin my life, in a sense. Okay, so this happened back in 2018, like June 2018. So I was roughly around 21 years old, just turned 21 back in March, because my birthday is in March, and this was in June. So this was a few months after I had just turned 21. Now keep in mind, I was a heavy drinker. I drank all the time. I know a lot of us could probably. So this happened back in 2018. I was at your typical, I guess, quote unquote, as they say, the redneck bar. Now, I don't know how they are nowadays. Like if you go to like a bar that's considered, but I don't know how it is nowadays. But let me tell you guys, back in 2018, it was a very nice place to go, and they were playing some very good music. It wasn't what you might think a typical redneck bar is nowadays. So my friend and I, we hopped in the car that evening after taking a couple shots of Fireball. I used to love Fireball. I would drink it all the time, the little shots of Fireball. And she drove there, and this was about an hour from where we were staying. Yes, I know, driving to places that are very far from where you are and you are intoxicated with whatever type of drugs you may have taken, at the time it may have been like one of the most awesome things ever, but like I said, there's a reason why we're all still here, right? even those who did stuff like that. So we hop in the car, she drives there. Here's the thing, you guys. This is so wild, because we would do this like every weekend, if not every other weekend. Her and I would. She was one of my amazing best friends at the time, and we would always go out like every weekend, and we would always have like some kind of shot before we leave, like do like a little pre-gaming before we go. I don't recommend that, by the way, but we would do a little pre-gaming, and then we would get trashed throughout the whole night. And the one night that this happens, it's like we didn't really have fun, and we didn't feel as drunk as other nights that we have done this, you know? So God was just like, you know what, like, enough is enough, because next time y'all do this, y'all could end up dead. So we're gonna stop this tonight. So once we got there, it was time to leave. It was around 2 o'clock. It was like 1:58. They said that the bar was closing. It closes at 2. It was closing at 2. And we got out of there by like 2:12, 2:15. And as of today, I really felt like I was less drunk, intoxicated than she was. But I guess we could have like a little debate about that. But she says that she wanted to drive. I said no. No, I don't think it'd be safe. Which, if maybe it would have been more safe. Maybe we actually would have gotten there safe. But I feel like it had to happen for us to open our eyes. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I'll drive. It's okay, I'll drive. So I took the keys. This was my Toyota. It was a Toyota Corolla. It was my favorite vehicle I ever owned, and it was in the color of green, which is my favorite color. And so hopped in the car. We were heading to Waffle House because we had the munchies, and Not even 2 minutes down the road, she had dropped her phone. She dropped her phone and fell on the floorboard. And I take one glance off the road where I'm driving, you know, we're just talking, we're laughing, have a great time. And then she's like, oh shoot. And then drops her phone. And I'm like, did you find it? Are you okay? That 2 seconds, boom, the right side of my vehicle hit a pole. It was a pole on the road that we were heading down towards. There's like a bunch of poles lined up on the sidewalk. And I sideswiped, hit that pole, and it totaled the whole right side of my vehicle. Now here's the thing, you guys. The Lord is so good, because not only did she not get hurt, because there was no glass that cut her, there was no bruises on her skin, because she could have sued me if she really wanted to, but she didn't, because we were good friends at the time. And she says that she didn't have any cuts, any bruises, nothing. So by the grace of God. And then also there was a man that was walking, coming our way, just a random man just walking on the side of the road. He was this close from getting hit from my vehicle. Let that sink in, you guys. Once that happened, I didn't know whether to cry, whether to get mad, whether to laugh because of my adrenaline like rushing. So I was in shock. I was in all complete shocked. I was like, this did not just happen. I felt like I was dreaming, I guess. So we had to pull, or no, the car was sitting right there at the side of the road, and we walked on the right side of the vehicle and stood there and was like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're gonna freak out. So she said, you gotta call the cops. Like, the cops have to come. So she ended up calling the cops. They came, and I was the one driving. It was my vehicle, so I had to go through the test. So the first thing was the alphabet A to, or it was like A to F, but backwards. So I had to do F all the way down to A, and then I had to do the straight line test, where I had to walk in a straight line. I had to walk in a straight line on a straight white line. Failed that one. I think I passed the A to F one. And then there was one more. I don't remember what that one was, but I think I failed that one. And then when it came to the breathalyzer, that's where they pretty much determine whether you are good to go or whether you're coming with them. And at that time, you guys, I blew a 0.17, or it might have been a 0.18. I think it was a 0.18, which is twice the legal limit in Virginia. I'm located in Virginia. I don't know how it is in other states, but in Virginia, 0.08 is the legal limit. So they handcuffed me. I got put into the back of their vehicle, and my friend, crying, bawling out her eyes. She just felt so bad that all this happened. She felt so bad that I was getting my lessons had to be taught that day. I had to get those lessons learned. So I remember just telling her, it's okay, it's okay. And so she ended up calling my adopted mother and my adopted father, who I no longer speak to, by the way, anymore. But she did call them that night, and the morning, let me go to when I got to the police station. So going to the police station, I had to strip down, not naked. It wasn't prison. It was just like a jail. So I had to just strip down into my underwear, I believe it was, and I had to put on the orange suit. And I had to take all my piercings out, everything out. And I had my tongue pierced at the time, so I had to take that out. That closed the morning after, so I never got that re-pierced, but it's okay. So I was put into a cell just me. It was just me, but there were other men around me, and I can hear them. I just couldn't see them. But they're like, "Yo, what did you come in here for? This and this." Got no sleep that night. I was there from like 4 in the morning to like 11:30 that morning, almost lunchtime. And lunchtime, I didn't go to lunch with them because my adopted mother and my friend that night, they both came to pick me up. Bailed me out pretty much. So I got bailed out, and after that I had to go through the whole process of getting your first DUI. And you guys, when I say it is not worth it, not only are you putting other people's life at risk, keep that in mind. That's the first thing that should be going through our mind before we get behind that wheel of any intoxication. That's marijuana, alcohol, any of that can alter the way of thinking, but you're putting your own life at risk too. And then you have to do everything that comes after it. So I have some notes right here on what I had to go through. So, okay, so once I got to that let me go back to the police station. When I got there, they had me blow in the breathalyzer again, and I blew 0.14. So if it was 1 point away, because a 0.15 would be considered a felony in the state of Virginia, and that would be on your record, but I got a 0.14, which made it a misdemeanor. So I was 1 point away, thank the Lord, because that would have stayed. Misdemeanors is still, they're not great, but I'd rather had gotten a misdemeanor than a felony. And then also I didn't hurt anybody along that. I just hit the pole, and the pole wasn't even damaged, right? So like my car was damaged. My car was totaled, had to go salvage, it had to get put away, right? But everything else was fine. And then I blew a 0.14 at the police station. That's the number that they go based upon, not when they pull you over and breathalyze you at that moment. So it was a 0.14 at the station, so I got a misdemeanor instead of a felony. Okay, so then I had to go to a VASAP class, and VASAP is where you come in and you have a group of people around you who have gotten in trouble by the law, some of them more serious than others, and we all had to sit every Wednesdays. It was a 2-hour class. No, it was a 3-hour class. 8 to 11, I believe it was. It was a 3-hour class, 8 to 11, and we had to sit there, read this book with the instructor, with the teacher, to make sure that we would never do this again. And then we kind of just like signed it, making sure that we would never do it again. So that went on for 3 months. It was every Wednesdays, so I had to go to that. I had to pay $2,000, which came from my adopted parents' money, but I had to pay them back because I didn't have $2,000 at that time. So they ended up paying it for it. I paid them back. Then I had to get the breathalyzer. I think it's called the breathalyzer. It set up in my vehicle. Now here's the crazy part, you guys. When you have that thing in your vehicle, before you can start that car, you have to turn that thing on, and before you even move the car, you have to blow into it. So every time you like go to the store or go to the park or go anywhere, before you can move your vehicle, you have to blow into that thing, and it has to say 00000. There cannot be no 0.1, nothing. Otherwise, it detects alcohol in your system, and then you have to start the process over again. Now, here's the sucky part. That thing was in my car for 6 months, okay? And so this was, I want to say I got it set up not even a month after the accident. So for 6 months, I had to keep it in my car. Now, this is the thing that made me so upset. I was like on month 5. So for 5 months, every time I blew into it, because I was going to college at the time too. I was going to community college at the time. And I remember like going to classes, I had to blow into it. When I was leaving, I had to blow into it. And people were just like looking like, oh Lord. I had to tell them, I didn't have to tell them, but I told them what had happened and stuff. I said, don't do it, it's not worth it. But Um, I remember month 5, I had went to the store, went to like Walmart or something, got me some mouthwash. It had alcohol in it. I didn't even realize to think about that, but I bought it because I really needed mouthwash, and took that mouthwash that morning, and it detected alcohol. So it shut down my vehicle completely, and I think that morning I had to like call my adopted mother. She had to take me to school or something. She was pissed. So then at this point, I had to go back into when my the breathalyzer was installed. I had to go back there, and they had to take it off. Then they had to replace it with another one, and I had to pay another $400. It's like $400 for them to install it. That's the thing. It's like $400 for them to install it, and then you have to come in each month for them to like recalculate it. So then it's like another $200. So you're paying a pretty good penny for that thing. And month 5, oh my gosh, you guys, month 5 was when I messed up. So they took it off. They put another one in. I paid that $400, and I had to start the whole 6-month process over again. You know, when I say I was clenching on to, oh my gosh, you guys, because I really thought that I had 1 month away. I was 1 month away, and I could have taken it. It would have gotten out of my vehicle, but no, because I made that one dumb decision. I didn't even think about it. It led me into doing the whole 6-month process again. So 6 months after that, I was already done with the VASAP class because I was only there for 3 months. So 6 months after that, and then what else did I have to do? VASAP, 3 months, breathalyzer, bought the mouthwash. Oh, and then the insurance. You know, you have a DUI on your record now, so now you have to get either the FR44 form, which is higher than the SR22 form. I got the SR22 form put onto my insurance, which made my insurance jump from like a whole $100. It will do that, but the FR44 form is for someone who got that felony, which I didn't get. So I got stuck with the SR22 form, and that, honestly, you guys, that is on there for like 6 years, 5 years. I recently just got it taken off like last August. So from 2018 to 2023, 5 years. Yeah. So it was 5 years. And I had to call up DMV and was like, hey, like, you know, it's time now. They took it off, and I didn't have to pay for it anymore. So this is another reason why, because I do delivery, and I do Instacart. Instacart is more lenient when it comes to hiring people. DoorDash, you can't have no type of DUI. You can't have no type of, none of that. So, DoorDash, Shipped, Grubhub, all of those three delivery driver app that I applied for, I'm still on a waiting list because they were not accepting me because I got a DUI, and that DUI is on my record for 7 years, and it has been or for them. I don't think it's on my record anymore. It's put off my record now. But for delivery driver apps like that, it is on there for 7 years. Yeah. And so that's so like 2025. Like 2025 after that incident, 2025, around 2025, I can reapply and I could possibly get those jobs. So, long story short, you guys, I don't know how old you guys are. I don't know how old you guys are when you're watching this, but my fellow people who are my age, I'm 28 and older, I'm sure that a lot of us have learned and grew from the silly situations we put ourselves in. But if you are at the moment now where you are, I guess, what am I trying to say? Experimenting with, we'll say, drugs. Call an Uber. Get someone who doesn't have 1 ounce of alcohol or marijuana too, you guys. Marijuana too. It is also affects our perspective on driving, and yeah, that's not. I have my vape pen. I smoke a vape pen, and it does have THC in it, so there is marijuana in it, which means if I were to hit it right now, I'm not going to be driving until 4 hours later. I say 4 hours later. I could have 1 hit. That's how paranoid I get now when it comes to like smoking my THC pen. That's why I'll only do it at night when I know that I'm in for the night. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going out. I do not do it during the day. There was one incident, you guys, that I felt like I had to drive, but I was semi-high because a friend was in desperate need and I felt like I had to save her in a way. I don't think I would ever put my life at risk like that ever again, and I let her know that, but we've moved past that. So you guys, if you guys are if you've made it this long to this video, if you guys are experimenting and you guys are at an age where you feel like you've tried the whole driving behind driving drunk and you feel like you're okay, I promise you guys, it is going to catch up, and I really hope that nothing severely happens. I pray that nothing severely happens, and I hope and pray that you guys look at other people's experience as well as mine and be like, you know what, it's really not worth it. At the end of the day, it is not worth it for one night that was not even fun. You know, like my night wasn't even fun, and all that happened, and it took me until literally 27, 28 years old to finally get through with it all. And I'm still going through with it because of my delivery apps. Like I cannot do delivery full time, only for Instacart. So yeah, it sucks, you guys. I just wanted to put out here awareness, I guess. I really don't want to see or hear of anyone getting in more accidents, because a lot of people get in accidents and one of the leading cause is drugs. So anyways, I love you guys. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm probably gonna get me something to eat. I hope you guys have a great day, each and every single one of you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.